ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
So good morning everybody. Now we are discussing about vectors chapter. In that main thing is very important thing is parallelogram, law of vector addition. Parallelogram law of vector addition. So parallelogram law vector addition, that's we are going to discuss about now, and this is the basic to do anything in the further way, basic means. So what if the, for example, if two vectors are acting in the same direction, what is the resultant? If two vectors are acting in opposite direction, what is the resultant? If two vectors are mutually perpendicular, what is the resultant? That's we are going to discuss, and this is the basic thing. So basic law to do any problem in mechanics based on this. So what we discussed already, what is a vector quantity? Vector means it's a the physical quantity having both magnitude and direction, and also obeys laws of vector addition, That vector addition is this one, parallelogram law of vector addition. So now, so let us say this is having one definition. Here what is the definition is, here if two vectors are acts as adjacent sides of a parallelogram, two vectors are acts as the adjacent sides of a parallelogram in magnitude and direction, if two vectors are acts as the adjacent sides of a parallelogram in magnitude and direction, starting from the same point, both are starting from the same point, the resultant or the diagonal passing through the same point, represents resultant of two vectors in magnitude and direction. So this is the definition. If two vectors are acting as the adjacent sides of a parallelogram in magnitude and direction, starting from the same point, and the diagonal passing through the same point, represents the resultant of two vectors in magnitude and direction. Why we are mentioning the magnitude and direction? Means because these are the vector quantities. What I am saying, two vectors are acting as the vector in the sense that must have both magnitude and direction. That's why we are mentioning like this. Two vectors are acts as the adjacent sides of a parallelogram in magnitude and direction. So let us draw the diagram here. So let us say these are the two vectors are acts as the adjacent sides of a parallelogram. These two vectors are acting as the adjacent sides of a parallelogram in magnitude and direction, starting from the same point, and the diagonal passing through the same point represents resultant of these two vectors in magnitude and direction. After drawing the diagram, this definition is very simple. What we are writing, two vectors are acts as the adjacent sides of a parallelogram. So these are the two vectors are acting as the adjacents as a parallelogram. This is one vector and this is another vector, etc. starting from the same point. And the diagonal passes through, this is called the diagonal of the parallelogram. The diagonal passing through the same point, represents the resultant of these two vectors, in magnitude and direction. That's all. So this is the statement and this is the representation. Then how can you derive the relation here? So derivation is important here. Now we can derive this here. See here. So let us say these are the two vectors, adjacent sets of a parallelogram. Let us say P bar and Q bar. So whatever it is we can consider, let us say two forces. Force is a vector quantity, F1 bar and F2 bar, two forces. Let us say A bar, B bar. Momentum is a vector quantity. Let us say P1 bar and P2 bar. Everything, any two vectors we have to consider of same physical quantity. So we must consider, or we can consider acceleration A1 bar or A2 bar, because those are the vector quantities. Any two we have to consider. So now the result, the diagonal passing through the same point represents resultant of these two vectors. Diagonal passing through the same point represents resultant of these two vectors. So this is the diagram. Now if you fulfill the diagram like this, so here we must draw this normal and this must be extended here like this. This is 90 degrees. Let us say P bar and Q bar. Let theta is the angle between P bar and Q bar. Here let P bar comma Q bar are two vectors. P bar comma Q bar are two vectors. Let it is R bar, and R bar is resultant of P bar and Q bar. R bar is the resultant of P bar and Q bar. So here theta is angle between P bar and Q bar. So this theta is the total angle between P bar and Q bar. Now we have to find out the magnitude of the resultant. This is angle theta means, and this is also angle theta. So this is Q bar, that's why this is also Q bar, and it is P bar, it is also P. So we are extending this adjacent sides of a parallel. So that means these two sides having same magnitude and these two sides having same magnitude in the parallelogram. So that's why this is Q, this is Q, this is P, and this is also P. So that's why here the angle is theta. Now, so let us say give the names. Let us say O, A, B, C, D. Anyone we have to consider. Anyone we can give the names, or P, Q, R, S, or X, Y, Z like this. Anything. So I am giving O, A, B, C, D. So here magnitude of OA is equals to P. So this magnitude of P bar is nothing but OA. Next, AC is equals to Q. In the diagram, AC is equals to Q. Next, OC is equals to R. Magnitudes. R bar is the vector and its magnitude is R. Q bar is the vector, its magnitude is Q. OA bar, that means P bar is the vector, its magnitude is P. So that is the situation. Now, from the triangle, now here from triangle OBC, from triangle here OBC, from triangle OBC. So right angle triangle, OBC is the right angle triangle. Here OBC is the right angle triangle. So from this we can write, according to Pythagoras theorem, we can write OC square is equals to OB square plus BC square. From Pythagoras theorem, OC square is equals to OB square plus BC square. See here, this is OC, hypotenuse. and OB is the adjacent side, BC is the opposite side. So that's why from this OC square is equals to, here OB can be written as OA plus AB. This is OB can be written as OA plus AB. So that's why it is OA plus AB whole square plus BC square. Let us say it is equation 1. OC square equals to OA plus AB whole square plus BC square. OA plus AB whole square plus BC square. So this is the equation 1. Next again, from triangle ABC, see here, this ABC is the again right angle triangle. From triangle ABC, this is also the right angle triangle. From right angle triangle we can write sin theta formula is, this ABC is the right angle triangle. In this I am writing sin theta and cos theta values. Sin theta formula, opposite side by hypotenuse. So that means opposite side BC by AC. So from this BC can be written as AC sin theta. So that's why BC is equals to, what is meant by AC here? AC is Q. So Q sin theta. BC is equals to Q sin. From this triangle ABC, what we are writing it is, I am writing, what is that? Sin theta value. Sin theta value is opposite side by hypotenuse. So that is, opposite side is BC, hypotenuse is AC. BC equals to Q sin theta. Next, cos theta is equals to adjacent side by hypotenuse. Cos theta is equals to adjacent side by hypotenuse. What is adjacent side? AB by AC. From triangle ABC only, adjacent side is AB, hypotenuse is AC. So from this, AB is equals to AC cos theta. So from this, AB is equals to AC is Q cos theta. AC is equals to Q cos theta. So BC and AB values. Substitute BC comma AB values in equation 1. Substitute this BC and AB values in equation 1. So what is equation 1 here? OC square is equals to OA plus AB whole square plus BC square. What is the value of OC here? What is the value of OC here? R. So R square is equals to, what is the value of OA? OA value is P plus, what is the AB we got? So AB is equals to Q cos theta and BC is equals to Q sin theta. So Q cos theta whole square plus BC is Q sin theta whole square. So from this, R square is equals to, let's write A plus B whole square. So P square plus Q square cos square theta plus 2PQ cos theta plus Q square sin square theta. A plus B whole square. A square plus B square plus 2AB. So from this, R square can be written as P square plus Q square common, cos square theta plus sin square theta. Here Q square cos square theta, Q square sin square theta plus it is 2PQ cos theta. It is the 2PQ cos theta. So this is R square equals to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. So from this, what we can write? Here R square is equals to P square plus Q square into cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. Cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. That's why P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. That is the situation. Now from this, R is equals to, what we can write? Under root P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. R is equals to under root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. So this is the where R is magnitude of the resultant. Magnitude of the resultant. So what is if two vectors are inclined at an angle theta? If two vectors are inclined at an angle theta, what is the magnitude of the resultant? Magnitude of the resultant R is equals to under root p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. P square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. This is the magnitude of the resultant. So this is the simple derivation to define parallelogram law. How can you define it is? Two vectors are acts as the adjacent sides of a parallelogram in magnitude and direction starting from the same point. Then the diagonal passing through the same point, represents the resultant of two vectors in magnitude and direction. Represents the resultant of two vectors in magnitude and direction. So just it is, these are the initial conditions. P, Q are the two vectors, R is the resultant, and OA is considered as P, AC is considered as Q, OC is R. And just by using, just if you know the Pythagoras theorem and sin theta cos theta values, that is enough. If you know the sin theta cos theta and Pythagoras theorem values, that's the derivation is over. So this is the magnitude of the resultant. So resultant is also a vector quantity. Here P bar and Q bar are the two vectors. R bar is the resultant of P bar and Q bar. R bar is the resultant of P bar and Q bar. So resultant is also a vector. It also must have magnitude and direction. The resultant is also a vector quantity. It also must have both magnitude and direction. We already derived this magnitude. What is the magnitude of the resultant? R is equals to under root P square plus Q square plus 2pq cos theta, that is the magnitude. And what is the direction? That's we have to derive. What is the direction of the resultant? What is the direction of the resultant? So magnitude of the resultant is this one, and what is the direction of the resultant? So here direction of the resultant. So direction of the resultant. Now, for example, R bar makes an angle alpha with x axis or A. So the resultant vector R bar makes an angle alpha with horizontal. The resultant vector R bar makes an angle alpha with horizontal. Then direction of the vector means, yesterday we discussed already in the previous classes. What is meant by the direction? Direction means we have to find out tan theta. Direction means we must find out tan theta. So here, so tan alpha can be written as, again, from triangle OBC. From triangle OBC. So this is O and this is B and this is C. So this is the from triangle OBC. From triangle OBC. What we can write? From triangle OBC. Tan alpha formula. See here, triangle OBC in the sense, this is the OBC. This is O, this is B and this is C. This is A. And it is alpha. So tan alpha can be written as opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite side is BC, adjacent side is OB. Tan alpha is equals to opposite side by adjacent side, BC by OB. So from this, tan alpha is equals to BC by OB can be written as OA plus AB. Tan alpha is equals to BC by OA plus AB. BC by OA plus AB. Tan alpha is equals to BC by OA plus AB. So now, what is the value of BC? Tan alpha is equals to, what is BC? already we derived, that is q sin theta. BC is equals to q sin theta. So tan alpha is equals to BC is equals to q sin theta. BC divided by OA means P. So here OA is P, and what is the value of AB? We got q cos theta. Tan alpha is equals to q sin theta by P plus q cos theta. Q sin theta by P plus q cos theta. So this is the direction of the resultant. Then alpha is equals to tan inverse q sin theta by P plus q cos theta. Alpha is equals to tan inverse q sin theta by P plus q cos theta. So this is the magnitude of the direction of the resultant. Magnitude of the resultant is R is equals to square root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta, and here the direction of the resultant alpha is equals to tan inverse Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta. Tan inverse Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta. So this is the direction. So for example, if it makes an angle beta with y-axis, alpha with horizontal and it is beta, then tan beta can be written as reverse, P sin theta by Q plus P cos theta. So that is P sin theta by Q plus P cos theta. If it is the alpha is the angle with the horizontal, and if it is beta, how can you write tan beta? How can you write tan beta? Tan inverse P sin theta by Q plus P cos theta. P sin theta by Q plus P cos theta, that is the tan theta value, and this is the direction, magnitude and directions. So this is the parallelogram law of vector addition. And see here, in this parallelogram law of vector addition, see here, what is the magnitude of the resultant we calculated? Magnitude of the resultant, R is equals to under root P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta, and the direction of the resultant is alpha is equals to tan inverse Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta. That is the R is the magnitude of the resultant, alpha is the direction of the resultant. So now in this situation, let us see the applications here. Let us say first application, if theta is equals to 0, theta means angle between P bar and Q bar is 0. When the angle between two vectors is 0, if the two vectors are parallel, that means here if P bar and Q bar are parallel, if the angle between two vectors are 0, so that means those two vectors must be parallel to each other. If the angle 0 means those two vectors must be parallel to each other. So that means substitute this, R can be written as under root P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos 0, cos 0 value 1. So that is why P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos 0 is 1. So that is equals to under root P plus Q whole square. Therefore R is equals to P plus Q. That means if two vectors are parallel to each other, what is the magnitude of the resultant? R is equals to P plus Q. If two vectors are parallel to each other, what is the magnitude of the resultant? So R is equals to how much it is? P plus Q. The direction of magnitude of the resultant is P plus Q. When this condition, if two vectors are parallel to each other. So that is R is equals to P plus Q. Next, second application, in this what is the direction? In this alpha is equals to tan inverse q sin 0 divided by p plus q cos 0. So, alpha is equals to tan inverse q sin 0. Q sin 0 value is, what is the value of sin 0? 0. So, something 0 divided by p plus q, 0 by something is, so tan inverse 0. So, therefore, alpha equals to 0. So, that means, that is, if two vectors are parallel to each other, the magnitude of the resultant is p plus q. The magnitude of the resultant is p plus q. And what is the direction of the resultant? Alpha is equals to 0. So, that means both the vectors must act in the same direction. So, the resultant also like this. So, that is the first condition if theta equals to 0. Next, second condition in this. Second point is if theta is equals to 180. So, that means angle between p bar and q bar is equals to, angle between q bar and p bar is 180. So, that means the two vectors are anti-parallel. The two vectors are anti-parallel or opposite. Anti-parallel or opposite. The two vectors are anti-parallel or opposite. So, this is the situation now. In this, what happens? Then r is equals to under root p square plus q square plus 2pq cos 180. Cos 180 is minus 1. P square plus q square minus 2pq, because cos 180 value is minus 1. So, that is equals to, this can be written as p minus q whole square. So, that is p minus q. R is equals to p minus q. R is equals to p minus q. So, this is the situation now. Theta equals to 180, then angle between two vectors is 180 degree. That means both the vectors are opposite direction or anti-parallel. The two vectors acting in the opposite direction or anti-parallel. Then what is the resultant here? P minus q. The resultant is p minus q. Now, what is the direction here? Alpha is equals to tan inverse q sin 180 divided by p plus q cos 180. Sin 180 is 0. So, sin 180 is 0, that means total value is 0. So, therefore, alpha is equals to again 0. So, the resultant does not make any angle here, alpha equals to 0. So, that means if two vectors are parallel or anti-parallel, if two vectors are parallel to each other or anti-parallel to each other, the resultant must be p minus q and the resultant is p plus q or p minus q, but the direction of the resultant must be 0 degrees. The direction means angle made with the resultant vector is 0. So, this is second condition. Next, third condition. What is third condition here? If theta is equals to 90 degrees, that means angle between p bar and q bar is 90 degrees. Angle between p bar and q bar is 90 degrees. So, that means the two vectors are perpendicular to each other. The two vectors are perpendicular to each other. Now, then r can be written as under root p square plus q square plus 2pq cos 90. P square plus q square plus 2pq cos 90. So, that is equals to under root p square plus q square plus 2pq into cos 90 is 0. So, that means under root p square plus q square. So that is R is equals to under root P square plus Q square. So this is the resultant. If two vectors are perpendicular to each other, what is the resultant? R is equals to square root of P square plus Q square. Then what is the direction of the resultant? Alpha is equals to tan inverse Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. This is the direction. So alpha is equals to tan inverse Q sin 90 divided by P plus Q cos 90. So alpha is equals to tan inverse Q sin 90 is 1. So P plus Q cos 90 is 0. So alpha is equals to tan inverse Q by P. That is the direction of the resultant. Alpha is equals to tan inverse Q by P. So that means if two vectors are normal to each other, what is the magnitude of the resultant? R is equals to square root of P square plus Q square. R is equals to square root of P square plus Q square. And what is the direction? The resultant vector makes an angle. Alpha is equals to tan inverse Q by P with the horizontal. Alpha equals to tan inverse Q by P with, what is alpha here? Angle made with horizontal. With vertical means 90 minus alpha. If you measure the angle with the horizontal, then it is easy to measure with vertical, because the angle between horizontal and vertical is 90. 90 minus alpha gives angle made with vertical. So that's all. So this is the parallelogram law vector addition and its applications here. So that means based on this, what we can write that? The resultant is always lies between, that means the resultant of two vectors lies between maximum value and minimum value. So that means, so R is equals to P plus Q. This is the maximum value. So we just now we discussed the applications. In that first one, if theta equals to 0, what is the magnitude of the resultant? R is equals to P plus Q. Or if that is the maximum, R is equals to P minus Q. So that is the minimum. So the maximum possible value of the resultant is addition of those two vectors, addition of those two magnitudes of the vector. What is the minimum resultant of those two is subtraction of those two magnitudes of the vector. So that is R is equals to P plus Q and R is equals to P minus Q. That means the resultant of any two vectors never be greater than maximum and never be less than minimum. The resultant of two vectors must never be greater than maximum and never be less than minimum. So that is the concept of parallelogram of vector addition. That means simply blindly we can do that. If two vectors are parallel to each other, what is the magnitude of the resultant? Addition of those two magnitudes. If two vectors are opposite direction, what is the magnitude of the resultant? P minus Q, like that. Other than certain angle 60, directly we can substitute in that angle. R is equals to square root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Directly we can substitute in that formula. So that is, this is parallelogram law of vector addition. Next, here